How did we end up here? This place is horrible. Smells like balls.
Pull yourself together, Teddy.
This is all I got on me. I don't know if This video is sponsored by Privacy. Privacy lets you buy things online using virtual cards instead of having to use your real ones, protecting your identity and bank information on the internet. More about them at the end of the video. So I'm stealing this title from my buddy Cole Hastings. He came over one weekend not too long ago. We hung out, it was a great time, you know, we filmed together, shared our life stories, held each other at night very briefly, but this isn't a video about that, okay? I'm just stealing this title from him. Just go subscribe to Cole Hastings, I don't have to feel guilty about this. Listen, I recently quit my job to become a full-time YouTuber. I've only made like 3 videos about it since it's happened. I'll stop saying that, but as someone who considers himself modestly self-disciplined, I thought I would jump straight into things, and that's not exactly how it went down. And in fact, as soon as I took on a full-time capacity, I felt hit with this tremendous writer's block. And I think a big part of it is due to having the burden of my day being meaningful and productive entirely on my shoulders. You see, when you work for someone else and they tell you what to do, sure, we might all like to think that we want to be our own boss and it'd be great to just be able to set your own schedule completely. There's a great number of perks that come with that, but also there's a great comfort that comes from having someone else tell you what to do. And especially if it's a task that's kind of simple or redundant, often what you can do, if I need to change out some line in an Excel sheet and I need to change it out for a number of different things, if I just need to do like data entry, for instance, as part of my task, then I can just like listen to the Joe Rogan podcast or Jocko and do that mindlessly and kind of enjoy my day. And 4 hours could go by and then I'd go on to some other kind of work and I'd have this assurance that, oh, at least some part of my day was meaningful. I mean, I worked the day job, at least I got work and I did work today. That makes this day meaningful. You also have meetings which you know are inherently useless, but there's a lull, there's a comfort that comes with knowing you have to be somewhere and then you're just there. You just did the thing you've been told to do. In contrast, when you work for yourself, or even worse, when you have to like manage other people's time and energy, all of that work falls on your shoulders. And you can often find yourself ending the day hating yourself because you didn't hit your inner ideal, your inner standard of the work you were supposed to do. When you work for someone else, the ideals are set by the other person, and sometimes they're not very lofty. And when you work entirely for yourself, you're always competing against yourself. And if you're a high-minded person, your ideal is someone very hard to compete against. Nevertheless, I've taken on 3 strategies ever since becoming fully self-employed that I'm using to great effect to now be an effective self-employed person. They're helping me not hate myself at the end of the day, okay? Because Cole isn't here anymore to hold me at night, and this is what it's gonna take. Although I'm also hoping that even if you do work for someone else, that these 3 unusual ways of being productive will be helpful to you as well. The first is to set your schedule according to your biological prime time. When you take the time to observe how your energy fluctuates over the course of the day, you can work on your highest impact tasks during your biological prime time. And often what I find useful is at the start of my biological prime time, which is just when my energy is naturally at the highest during the day, which for me, I got between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. to get stuff done. That's the most important. And if I don't get it done in that time, then my brain just isn't as effective. And then by 3 p.m., that existential dread starts to kick in. What you can often do is start out with work that's just a little bit easy, a little bit of just a softball, and do that one really easy task, and then use it to propel you into work that's actually significant. I know a lot of great writers like Cal Newport would talk about going immediately into your deep work, your most important work first thing in the morning, as Brian Tracy would say, to eat that frog first thing in the morning so that the rest of your day is really easy. But sometimes when the resistance to doing that really intense work is a lot, you can just give yourself a little softball. I've used the most insignificant things to get myself going. I've said this before, but if I need to write that day, since writing is a big part of my job, I'll just take a little typing test to give myself the sensation of fingers moving, and then I can get into my work better that way. If it's more pre-production type of work, then I'll say, okay, I'm just gonna storyboard one quick thing from like a movie scene I love. This is the benefit of being a creative now, is like part of my job is to pull inspiration from movies. But then I can storyboard using that movie scene. Or this calendar blocking app that I've really loved using recently, Sunsama, has this natural journaling session that you do to start off your day. It's a great way to just enter your work, but figure out what your biological prime times are and work within the confines of your biological prime time to do work that maps out appropriately to those times. Take the time to observe how your energy fluctuates over the course of the day. You can work on your highest impact tasks during the times where your energy is naturally great. The most productive people don't just manage their time well, they also manage their energy and attention well. Rearranging your day around when you have the most energy is one of the simplest ways to work smarter instead of just harder. Now, you may not be like me where you have complete control over when you get to do what you do, but even within the confines of your free time, when is your biological prime time, or what is the energy allotment that you have on certain days, and what tasks can you do inside those days? The second thing that has oddly been helping me is giving myself less time to do things. The craziest thing about YouTube is that the video that you spend 3 months making can maybe get less views than the video that you just speak from the heart, put it out there. Different things resonate at different times or have different psychological impacts. And so what I've been telling myself is, regardless of whether I'm working on a masterpiece or something quick and dirty, to give myself less time to do it. At the height of his popularity, Casey Neistat was doing his daily vlog, and the quality of his vlogs actually increased in the middle of his daily vlogs just because he was always giving himself very little time to get things done. In fact, a number of creatives that I really admire do their best work because they don't give themselves a lot of time to get it done. Christopher Nolan, for instance, one of my, well, I'd say my top 8 favorite directors. I was surprised to learn that for most of his movies, he gets each of his takes done within 4 to 5 takes. Of course, there's some directors like David Fincher who are known for doing many takes per scene in every movie. But what I admire about Nolan is that he's got some of the most sophisticated camera work, practical effects inside his movies, and yet, while he's on set, he never even looks at the viewfinder. He's just interacting with the environment. And often, when he thinks something is good enough, he'll just ship it. It's pretty amazing. Granted, Nolan's planning and his scripting is a very laborious process, and he often will spend months writing the perfect script, or what he would interpret as the perfect script, so that his high-level concepts can fit inside the framework of the movie, inside a narrative. But when it comes to actual execution, it's amazing how much you can get done when you give yourself less time. By controlling how much time you spend on a task, you control your energy and attention in a much more focused way. And some weeks when I've given myself only 20 hours that week to get work done, I've actually done some of my best work because each hour you know has to be deeply effective. You have no time to be ponderous. And especially when it comes to like being on camera or doing things in camera, that immediacy translates really aggressively. Some of my biggest sketches, watches Jordan Peterson once and the Gary Vaynerchuk watches once, those were done in like 90 minutes each, believe it or not, just because I felt I had to get a video up. I was on this timeline of getting 2 videos up every week. I just spit them out. And the intensity of how quick that was is probably what translated to the humor in those videos.
Lobsters! A hell of a thing. How are we not nose deep in this stuff?
And so I've been trying to go back to that, making things more immediate by giving myself less time, and it works to great effect. The last thing, and this is one of the great benefits of being a full-time YouTuber now, is maintenance days. What is maintenance? It's things like trimming your nails, or cleaning the kitchen sink, or replacing the towels in your house, or vacuuming the car, or giving yourself a little haircut. Life without maintenance activities actually turns to a pigsty and a bad scenario pretty fast. We have to unfortunately do a lot of these maintenance activities that aren't fulfilling in the grand scheme of things, but they make a great effect on your day-to-day interaction with your environment. And so my maintenance day rituals, I've made it very simplistic now, but it's an amazing way for not having that self-hate at the end of the week. I just log every tiny thing that needs to be done over the course of a week, whether it's a cleaning task, or some chore, or some like logistical thing that I need to finish, like invoices, and I just make a list of them, and then I batch them all either on one day or just one portion of my day. I spend a whole day ironing, getting a haircut, and cleaning up my environment, and my interaction with my spaces now is so much more pleasant just because all these little things that I wouldn't get done because I didn't have the time back in the day are now getting done. I feel like I'm no longer treading water on tasks throughout the week, trying to do little things here or there, but rather just spending a full day just blasting through all my maintenance work so that the rest of the week I can focus on more deep, more significant, the creative work. If scheduling a maintenance day is simply too unrealistic for you, try gathering a list of the maintenance tasks you do throughout the week and just create a little list. And then this will help you chunk together some of your maintenance tasks so you can get them out of the way at times during the day when you are low energy, where you're not at your biological prime time and you can't do deep work. Just say, okay, I can't do deep work. I'll just do some of this maintenance list work. By their very nature, maintenance tasks, they shouldn't be done to perfection because they're not important in the grand scheme of things. They're low return. They support your work, but they're not as essential as the high return, the meaningful tasks you do. So just do them when you don't have good energy. And these are the 3 things that I've been doing to have a more effective week. And as someone who's only recently become fully self-employed, it's helped me a great deal to not be filled with that self-loathing at the end of the week. A big thank you to the sponsor of this video, Privacy. Privacy is a tool that makes it super easy to manage your financial lives online while keeping your most important information secure. By generating virtual numbers, Privacy masks your banking information so you never have to worry about giving out to people you don't know online. You can take back control of your payments, decide who can charge your card and how often. A big part of why I like using Privacy is because I have so many subscription services, both with entertainment but also with work. I pay for 3 different copyright-free music subscription plans, a service for file transfers, just all these little things that are now a part of my internet life and my internet expenses. And so a lot of my banking details and card information is just on the internet. What I've loved about using Privacy now is that all of it is masked because it goes through the filter of privacy and like basically a fake credit card. You can also make sure that you're never accidentally billed twice or upgraded to another service without your consent. You can set a spending limit to what you should be paying for with any service per month to catch them. Your gym subscriptions that you might not be using or different customer service hoops. Your Privacy card will simply pause those expenses, block those charges. So if you pay $10.99 for a certain service and for some reason you're ever charged $11 because they upped that subscription fee and they haven't notified you, Privacy will like interrupt that subscription service and pause it. Privacy offers different plans cater to your personal or business goals. If you're looking for things like added benefits, you can earn like a 1% cash back when you use your Privacy card on all your purchases on the Pro plan, which if you're making expensive purchases, like 1% kickback definitely adds up. You can download Privacy very simply through like a Chrome browser extension. And then when you go to any online store and within the cart, you can choose your Privacy card. It actually auto-populates and you can use it to make your purchase. Head to privacy.com/Captain Sinbad to sign up for an account. New customers automatically get $5 to spend on your first purchase. It's sponsors like Privacy that help us reinvest in the channel and make more high effort videos. Currently working on this 90-day long video where I work out like Michael B. Jordan. It's been really fun, really rewarding, and I'm excited to share that video in 2 months' time. And videos like that simply would not be possible without our sponsors. So thank you, Privacy, for sponsoring this video. Thank you all for watching. But with that being said, for those of us who use our biological prime times, focus our efforts to do more with less time, and lastly, to schedule maintenance hours or maintenance days, to us I say greatness is coming. Cheers. Dude, that's a big one.